What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 63
Yes.
of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
I feel like I tell you that every time.
Literally every week.
And you just...
It's like
that
in one ear, out the other.
pause.
It's like, gotta remember what Carl just said. He literally told me before we started, and I cannot remember. Yep. It's like, I'm going to wing it and hope this is right.
There's nothing really crazy going on. We had our second qualifier. Congrats to the winner of that one. It hasn't happened yet as of recording. But congrats to whoever wins that one. We had a bunch of free entries given out this time.
Yeah,
a
bunch of people reached out to us and said, hey, we want to increase the attendance of this, hopefully. So here's an extra few entries. And it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So, of course, we are also giving out one.
Yep.
Which we probably will do for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, we're just going to make that a thing.
So, make sure you're following us on Twitter so you have a chance to get those. Make sure you're in the Discord because, I'm sure this is not going to be the last time that people donate for entries and such. So, those are almost always going to be Discord exclusive, I'm sure.
Yeah. Those are going to stick to the Discord because they're giving them out to our community, not to random people who followed us on Twitter.
So, a little bit of self-plugging here at the beginning. And what are we talking about, man?
So we got this idea from a couple people in the server. They were talking about weird interactions with certain abilities and moves and things like that.
How things interact with other things.
Mechanics, questions, and things like that. So we thought it'd be cool if we just covered a lot of the popular mechanics and things like that. And just maybe some off-the-wall things you didn't think about. Maybe expand your team-building knowledge.
Yeah, so we went through literally every ability. And just like, okay, does this do anything weird? Nope. Okay, cool. What's this one? Just like...
Yeah, we spent the better part of an hour...
At least an hour of just like, okay, this is the initial stuff we want to talk about. We need to add more, just expand this out and just like, okay, well, there's a lot we can actually talk about. So,
most of this is going to be probably common knowledge to older players, but a lot of the new players may not know these things. So it's going to be a good refresher for everyone. This
is one of those things that we want to kind of preserve information for future players to be able to go, hey, I'm new. What are some of these things that I need to know, like minor nuances that are going to come up that I need to know about now? So, basically, we're just like, all right, well, let's start from the top and just kind of work our way down. And
so the big ones are always going to be weather interactions, how weather works, and things like that. So we'll probably start with the weathers and then go to the terrains and then kind of get into the nitty-gritty abilities. And then I really want to talk about Utility Umbrella, just because Utility Umbrella is always just been a weird item.
It was meant to do one thing and it never did, and now it's just...
Now it does an entirely different thing, and it's gonna be fun to talk about. So let's start with rain. So rain as a weather is probably one of my favorite weathers to play with. Outside of boosting water type moves by 50% and having fire type moves by whatever, I think it's 50% as well.
Yep. It boosts by 50 and then halves
fire.
And that's the opposite for sun, where it boosts fire moves, weakens water moves. So
not only does it boost water moves, it gives thunder and hurricane just removes the accuracy check for those.
Yep.
So those hit every time.
There is no accuracy check, meaning if you're at -6 accuracy on your Zapdos and your Politoed triggers rain, you can still thunder things and it's going to work.
You can still hit that Clefairy on the other side.
It will always work. Funny enough, we were going through this and just like looking this up. In Gen 4, you can hit through Protect with this.
30% of the time.
I read that, I'm just like, how? Who decided this was okay?
When we get to Hail, Blizzard did the same thing.
Yep.
It was specifically Thunder and Blizzard, right?
Thunder and Blizzard. I don't think
Hurricane. I don't think got the.
I don't think it existed in Gen 4.
So, the other thing: rain, hail, and sand all half the power of Solar Beam and Solar Blade.
Mm-hmm.
things just like they make sense when you think about it, but like you think rain's like, oh, it's just gonna stop fire moves. It also just happens to stop solar beam and solar blade.
Well, it doesn't stop them.
It takes it to where it would be doing 60 base
over 2 turns.
Yeah, it's the worst part.
It turns solar beam into a grass type ember.
Woo! Which that's just kind of just like cool things to think about.
Did not know that. Just like looking up stuff for this episode, and we're like, that's really super niche, but super cool. So like you said, rain does it, hail does it, sand does it.
Yep. Sun obviously takes the amount of turns and turns from 2 turns down to 1 turn. It doesn't boost any damage though for solar beam.
No, because it's not a fire type attack.
Yep. Hail. Outside of being able to chip away with it dealing 1/8. 1/8, right? I believe it's 1/8.
I'm 99% sure, yes.
It deals 1/8 damage to anything that's not an ice type. Come on, Pokemon, get your logic right. Steel types shouldn't take chip damage from hail.
No, steel types should take extra damage because they get dented.
No.
Carl, have you ever had a car get hailed on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
I have not seen a problem yet.
Oh, you haven't had a bad hailstorm?
No, I've had bad hailstorms. I just don't get dents in my cars.
Oh,
I get lucky.
You're lucky then. I remember growing up, there was, we were driving back into town as a tornado was like basically chasing us, and as a result, it just hailed the entire way. We get home and just, the hood of the car is just, not concave, but just, you just see little bumps everywhere on it. Just like, oh, that's going to be expensive to fix.
Also makes blizzards get the accuracy check.
Yep.
Which, that's kind of cool because in doubles, hits both sides of your opponent's side of the field. So it's just a guaranteed, I'm going to hit 2 Pokemon almost every time in hail. It was why Ninetales from the laddering last week did really well with hail, because it's just like, I just get to spam blizzard. Yep,
because it hits both of them. You know, it's a base 120 move that hits both Pokemon without checking accuracy.
Yep.
So,
we'll come back to Sun. Sun's got a lot of things going on. Sand, nothing really super cool with sand outside of doing 1/8 chip to anything that's not a rock, ground, or steel type.
Boost
special defense of
rock types by
only.
50%.
Yeah.
It always confused me that it was only rock types. I thought it was all 3, but nope.
Just rocks. Which you could honestly probably make that mistake with ground types, because a lot of ground types are also rock types.
Sure.
But the other weird thing sand does is shore up. Didn't know this one. Shore up boosts its heal by up to 2/3.
Yep.
Instead of 1/2.
For some reason.
I mean, it makes sense. It's just like extra sand. But it's still a weird thing that comes up almost never. Because Palisand doesn't do anything.
Nope.
It did. It did in Series 6.
It did one thing.
It doesn't do anything now. This is your call to aid here. Your call Gondor. Get Palisand back on team for the week. Bring it up. Come on.
I don't think I've ever actually played Palisand. I don't think we did.
I
don't think I did.
I don't think any of us did. But that's the call for the community there.
I've got teams lined up.
I would say we got lots of teams lined up. That's one of the cool things about Series 9. Is everyone's just experimenting and playing. So Sun. There's a lot of weird things that Sun does. Sun boosts fire types by 50%, reduces water types by 50%, solar beam, solar power gets activated in Sun, solar beam takes 1 turn to charge, same with solar blade, activates chlorophyll, activates leaf guard.
And I mean, that's true about all the abilities. There's abilities that are associated with all of the weathers, so felt like we didn't really need to include all of them, but
guarantees harvest will restore a berry.
Sure.
That does.
It has been a thing in the past.
It's what it does. You also can't freeze Pokemon in Sun.
Did not know that till today.
That makes sense. Like the harsh sun.
Carl.
It's hot.
The sun melts the ice.
Also has thunder and hurricane accuracy in Sun, which makes sense.
Does it have them or turn it to 50%?
It turns it to 50%.
Okay, so it lowers it by
20.
Cool. Because they're both 70. Yeah.
Sun also gets also boosts Moonlight Synthesis and Morning Sun, whereas all the other weathers reduce their healing.
Yep, from 1/2 to 1/4.
Yeah,
and then Sun boosted from 1/2 to 2/3.
Correct. And that's all the real.
I mean, that's like all the niche stuff when it comes to weather. Of course, we went a little more in depth because, again, we want to make sure that people know what this does 5 years from now.
Weather's also a very important part of VGC. It's something that Dynamax lets you control very easily and things like that.
Well, not only that, but even in previous gens, like, weather teams are always going to be a thing. Look at, like, Gen 5 singles, where it was literally, if you weren't playing weather, you needed to have a damn good reason not to.
Yeah. Dynamax makes it to where weather changes every turn, so knowing the ins and outs of all these weather abilities
can be helpful.
Very, very, very helpful. Terrain, on that same note, is also something that Dynamax just changes on a whim a lot of the time. And Terrain's really important for these last couple series anyway.
Not only like through Dynamax moves, but also just like the amount of Mons that have access to the abilities that boost that change terrain. I feel like are seeing way more play as well. Obviously, Rillaboom has been super playable since it got it back in the end of Series 4.
Mm-hmm.
And like then we reintroduced Tapu Fini, and so then Misty Terrain's now a big deal. Electric Terrain has never really been great.
Popular. Yeah, it's never been popular. It's been okay in places.
And as a result, I feel like Electric Terrain's the one that people don't know about. It's the one that people don't know how it works the most.
Yeah, that's actually what sparked this whole episode. Basically, trying to explain Electric Terrain and how it worked and all that nonsense.
And then Psychic Terrain has been around since literally Series 1 with Indeedee.
Yeah, Indeedee's just been so popular.
The fact that it got it immediately, whereas like your Grassy Terrain setter, I don't think existed at that time.
Yeah, there was no Grassy outside of maybe something with the Grassy Terrain move.
Yeah,
you weren't setting.
No, there was no Grassy Surge ability.
Yeah.
Electric Terrain, you had Penticurchin, which sure.
Yeah.
Use it.
Go for it.
I dare ya.
Misty Surge was Weezing.
Yeah, you had Weezing, but originally, Cantonian Weezing wasn't legal. And then they added it in, and then they introduced Gigas, and now it's just like, well, why would I do Misty Terrain when I could do the thing that makes when I can make the thing do the thing?
Which we'll get to Neutralizing Gas a little bit later, because there's some weird things with Neutralizing Gas.
Yeah.
It's obvious things, but there's weird things to think about. And so the terrains are a very popular mechanic for
sure
for Series 9, just from all the Pokemon that have it. So covering all of these, all of them but Misty boost their respective types by 30%.
I don't understand. It's Misty Terrain sucks.
It's because they didn't want to overdo fairy types at the time.
True.
It was the new type at the time. So it's like, it's already pushed. Let's not push it even more.
So the weird thing is when they introduced terrains in Gen 6, they only had one ability that set them. You only had Grassy Surge. The other abilities didn't exist. Yeah. And so then they introduced the Tapus in Gen 7. They're like, what if we did
Give
this?
Everyone one.
Go-Goat and Skiddo were the only ones with Grassy Surge. And I don't think they were ever played in Gen 6. I
don't know.
I didn't play then, so I literally have no idea. But
I liked Go-Goat as a Pokemon.
It's cool. Was it good? No. Didn't it also get Fur Coat?
I don't know.
I know Furfrou did.
Yeah, that was Furfrou's thing.
Okay.
Pretty sure Go-Goat was like Grassy Surge and some other stuff. Maybe.
I'll let you talk about Grassy Terrain while I look that up.
So Grassy Terrain specifically reduces the damage that Bulldoze, Earthquake, and Magnitude. I don't think Magnitude's in the game anymore.
Not to my knowledge.
So specifically Bulldoze and Earthquake, it reduces the damage they deal to all Pokemon that are targeted by it. It also increases Floral Healing from Comfey.
Well, from everyone, but it just so happens to be that Comfey's the only one that ever plays.
It's the signature move of Comfey.
Yep.
It's the signature move of Comfey.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm going to look that up, too. To prove you wrong.
That it was a super niche thing at the time. You didn't think about it, but like Lapras Comfey was really popular together just because it's like, oh, we have priority Giga Drain. Well, what you also didn't realize is Rillaboom's the counter to Lapras. Rillaboom sets Grassy Terrain for Comfey. Comfey gets to give Lapras boosted heals. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm forgetting about Grassy Terrain. Other than the random Mimicry, Nature Power...
Which all those are affected by all the
terrains do their own thing. Can't think of anything else on Grassy Terrain.
I don't think so.
And then we'll skip Electric and Misty and talk about Psychic real quick, because Psychic's super short too. Outside of its boost, the Psychic type moves by 30%. Expanding Force gets a boost. It goes to 1.5 times damage, and if it's doubles, it hits both targets. The normal terrain things it normally gets, Terrain Pulse, all that stuff. And then stops priority moves used against you from your opponents, which means you can still use your Aqua Jet on your Colossal.
Yep. If your opponent sends out Indeedee to try to stop it, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work that
Get
way. Get them. Beat them up.
Punish them for not knowing how this works.
Yeah. You still get to hit your own Pokemon with any kind of priority move.
Yep, you can Sucker Punch your own Metagross. You
Yep.
can Aqua Jet your Colossals. Those are like the two that really come to mind.
Yeah.
You could Shadow Sneak your technically your Colossals, but
Metagross.
Yep.
You can or Dragapult or whatever.
Yep. I saw a weakness policy Chandelure.
I saw that too. I saw that. That was really cute. That was a Cybertron.
And then I played against it for the next week. I'm just like, this doesn't do anything. Stop it.
Get some help.
I understand why you're playing this, but stop it. I also know what this does.
Misty Terrain is the weird of the bunch when it comes to the boosts, because it doesn't boost. It halves Dragon Power damage, so it halves the damage.
But it only halves it if the Pokemon you're targeting is grounded.
Yeah.
So, if you Dragon Claw a Salamence, it does full damage.
Yep.
But if you Dragon Claw a Goodra or a Garchomp, it's halved.
I had to think of viable dragon types that are grounded, which Garchomp was the first one that comes to mind.
Mine was Goodra because I played against it yesterday for laddering.
That's true. Outside of that, Misty prevents all status, confusion, paralysis, burn, freeze, all that stuff.
Not true. You can technically still yawn them. They will not fall asleep, though.
Yeah.
They will become drowsy, but they won't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Which is different than how Electric Terrain works.
Electric Terrain just turns it off.
I learned this one the hard way forever ago, and I've never forgot it. And I assume that's how Misty Terrain works, too, is drowsy is considered a status, and therefore it can't be a... Nope. Drowsy, specifically with Electric Terrain, it won't work, because the terrain says, no. You're jolted full of energy.
You're being electrocuted.
So, because, the way it played out is I yawned Lapras, and then they went for Max Lightning, they didn't fall asleep. I'm like, alright, sure, cool. Alright, it's turn 5 of Electric Terrain. I'm gonna yawn them so they fall asleep next turn. It failed. What do you mean it failed?
Speaking of Electric Terrain, the one weird thing with Electric Terrain, outside of preventing sleep and yawn and rest, and the 30% boost to electric moves, is rising voltage. Doesn't work the way you think it does.
Well, if you know how it works exactly like you think it does.
I forgot the Grassy Terrain thing. It's Grassy like its priority boost.
Yep.
That's the other thing I was missing.
Yep. Psychic Terrain, Expanding Force does its thing.
Yep.
Misty Terrain
is Misty Explosion.
Yeah, Misty Explosion doubles
to 200.
Okay. So it's just actually turns into a fairy type explosion.
Correct. Electric Terrain, Rising Voltage. So Rising Voltage, lore-wise, logic-wise, it makes sense because a lot of the electric types don't want to be grounded.
So, the way this works And I'm going to steal this from Aaron. He explained it really well. If you have Rotom targeting a Rotom.
Yep.
Neither of them are grounded.
Yep.
It is base damage. It is 80, 70. It's 70 damage.
70, yeah, 70 plus whatever.
Plus stab. But we're ignoring stab for this.
Yeah, just assume that it's all typeless.
Now, Pikachu is using it against Rotom. It gets the 30% boost because of electric terrain.
Correct.
Rotom is not grounded, and therefore it doesn't double the power.
Yeah.
So it turns it from 70 to 91, 94. 91 base power.
Yeah.
Plus stab. Again.
Yeah.
Now, if Rotom uses it on Pikachu, Rotom is not grounded, so it does not get the boost from electric terrain. But because Pikachu is, it doubles.
Goes to 140.
Now, Pikachu uses it against Pikachu.
Zap.
So you get the boost from being grounded. So we go to 91.
Yep.
Now it's doubled because your target is also grounded.
182. And then stab. And resistances, whatnot.
And, lightning rods.
Yeah, and then lightning rod. So it doesn't even matter at all. But yeah, that's the best way to explain rising voltage. It's just super weird that, like, when you think about it, it's like, well, why does all of these do this, and why does rising voltage do it this way? It's because the electric Pokemon don't want to be grounded. In the eyes and minds of the game designers, like, oh, they're going to give them air balloon. They're going to have levitate, magnetize.
They're Zapdos. They
like
fly.
Flying types that also are electric types that want access to it. So it's just like, if you don't get the electric terrain boost, what is this thing going to do? Like, what is this move going to do? Half your electric types aren't grounded anymore. It's just a wasted of a move. And they wanted it to do something, so it's like, okay, well, let's make if the target's grounded. It works out.
So, yeah, that's more of an explanation of rising voltage than electric terrain, but electric terrain on surface value is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Well, most of these are. It's just
but
like...
there are definitely
rising
some that
voltage rising voltage only really matters...
because of electric terrain.
Yeah.
Much like misty terrain only... Dragon types only matter because of misty terrain.
Yeah, that's why you don't see dragon type moves on Garchomp anymore.
It just doesn't matter.
Because you love to pair them with Tapu Fini. Moving from all of these terrains and weathers, and we're going to kind of get into these abilities. This
is like going to be the bulk, I feel like, of the episode.
Well, we get into some of these bigger ones, probably. This first one's super self-explanatory, but didn't even know it. Oblivious is not affected by taunt. I learned that today.
Literally did not know this till today.
I was watching a Moxie Boost video, and I watched a Slowbro get taunted, and Oblivious said, nope.
I'm like, wait, hold on, what?
And I was like, wait, what? Why?
So, luckily, we already had the pages open for abilities, so we're just like, all right, time to go scroll.
Find Oblivious. Oh, it just turns off taunt.
Yep. You can't be attracted, you can't be intimidated, and you can't be taunted.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah,
you're oblivious to them taunting you. It makes sense.
It makes sense, but you just don't think about it because it doesn't come up.
It's new to Gen 8, isn't it? It's Gen 7 or Gen 8?
I think it's Gen 7.
Oblivious.
Pretty sure it's Gen 7. Yeah, it's Gen 7.
Okay.
Gen 6 to Gen 7.
I was trying to think of the word infatuation. All I could think about is attracted.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But people don't think about it being as infatuation.
Yep.
So the next thing on here, this is probably going to be a little bit of a longer one because sheer force is kind of hard to explain. Sheer force plus life orb recoil only works if the move used has a secondary effect.
So what we mean by that is let's say you have Nidoking.
Yep.
You're using Poison Jab.
Yep.
Poison Jab has the secondary ability of poisoning the target 30% of the time.
Yep.
Sheer Force says, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Instead,
Sheer Force turns it off.
You get a boost to your power.
Yep.
Well, Life Orb has the ability of boosting your power at the secondary ability of you taking recoil. Sheer Force says, No, you don't.
Yeah. The thing is, it only checks if the move used has a secondary ability. Because the way it's coded is the way it is. It just applies it after the fact.
So in this situation, Nidoking uses Earthquake. The game says, okay, Earthquake doesn't do anything. You don't get your Sheer Force bonus. You get your Life Orb bonus, but the damage isn't negated because all secondary effects... There's no secondary effect to negate.
Exactly.
So take your recoil.
Exactly. Whereas if you were to use Earth Power...
Which has a chance to lower special defense?
Correct.
Okay.
It will see, oh, this has a secondary effect. We'll remove all secondary effects. You get your Life Orb boost, but the secondary effect gets removed. It's just the way it works.
That one I don't think I learned until like this week. I knew about the Life Orb negation. I didn't realize it only works on certain moves.
Yeah. So I learned that playing with the Choice Scarf Nidoking because I tried Life Orb and I was like, why doesn't this work? But why does this work? Trying to do calcs and whatnot. Another weird thing Sheer Force does, it stops other abilities from triggering based on damage.
Yep.
As long as, I'm assuming this is all, because it didn't mention this, but I'm assuming this still only applies if there's a secondary effect already.
I'm assuming so. Again, like, that would make sense.
But they didn't list it, so I'm not sure. But it stops things like Berserk.
It stops things like Rough Skin.
Yep.
Disguise.
Does it stop Disguise? I don't think it stops Disguise.
I'm going to look it up. I don't want to spread misinformation.
I don't think it stops Disguise, because Disguise
is not a secondary effect.
It's not a secondary effect. It is a...
That would make sense that it went.
It's a substitution.
That would make sense.
It's a sub of damage. Instead of taking damage, you take 1/8.
Okay.
But other things like Rough Skin, it does stop Rough Skin. It stops Berserk and things like that, where damaging the Pokemon affects the ability.
Makes sense.
Which we'll get, again, Berserk's got some weird interactions too. We'll get to that in a little bit. Speaking of Disguise, Neutralizing Gas doesn't turn off Disguise.
Yep.
Any of the weird, like, stance or specific abilities like Multi-Type, Schooling, Disguise, RKS, Power Construct, those don't get turned off. Also, As One doesn't get turned off, which is weird. I never understood that one. I don't know why. Like lore-wise, I'm not sure.
Because Grimnay and Chilling Nay get turned off.
Yep.
Unnerve gets turned off.
Yep.
As One doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Because it's more than one ability.
I'm guessing that's why. That's the only logic you can come up with is because it's more than one ability.
That's all I can come up with, and I don't understand it, but that's how it works.
Other than that, Neutralizing Gas is just, like, very powerful.
It does a lot of things. Okay, so thinking about this, how many of these abilities are actually played?
Disguise itself, As One was popular when Series 8 was going.
Power Construct because of exactly Zygarde. So
outside of that, that's it.
Most of these, when you look at it, are signature abilities.
Yeah.
Signature abilities typically aren't able... It makes sense that...
They are not affected.
Because they affect the game in some type. Such as multi-type, literally changing the type of a Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Schooling, changing stats of the Pokemon. Stance change does the same thing. Where you change the stats of a Pokemon.
Yep.
So, these all make sense when you think about it.
It does turn off Hunger Switch.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It does turn off Hunger Switch.
Oh man!
Because it doesn't change. It doesn't change any kind of stats. Hunger Switch only affects Aura Wheel, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing it does. Does it change its typing? No. If it changed typing, it probably wouldn't be. It wouldn't be affected. But because all it does is change Aura Wheel's typing, sure, you turn it off. That's fine. Because as base, Aura Wheel, I believe, is always electric.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll always just default to electric if Hunger Switch gets turned off. Or if Hunger Switch gets... Whatever mode you're in is where Aura Wheel defaults to. So if you're stuck in Hangry... say you get entrained while in Hangry mode, and you're stuck in Hangry mode, Aura Wheel will always be dark.
Interesting.
Because you won't switch back. You'll always be in Hangry mode, or you'll always be in full belly mode is what it's called. Moving off of neutralizing gas, Beast Boost. This one's become a much more popular ability because of all the Ultra Beasts running around.
The big one right now is we're seeing a lot. I don't want to say the resurgence of, but like the development of Celesteela.
Oh yeah, Celesteela.
And as a result, this is like something that I feel like is really developed and become predominant because of it. So the way Beast Boost works is you get a boost in whatever stat is the highest stat, regardless of stat changes, items so things like Airstream boosting your speed will not change Celesteela's speed to be like if your speed is in higher than your special attack. It doesn't care about that.
Yeah,
it cares about whatever it is before all multipliers take effect.
So things like Assault Vest don't matter.
Yep.
Things like
paralysis lowering your speed. If your speed would be your fastest stat, you still get that boost.
Yeah. Which is cool. Also didn't realize you can KO your own like allies for him. I forgot. I was like only one I thought about was like Soulheart. Soulheart was the only one I thought like cared about it.
I'm trying to think. Does Buzzwole get Earthquake?
Ow.
I'm gonna go do some Googling.
Okay. The other side of the Beast Boost thing, it does take into account that cause the stat to change
itself.
On its face.
Yeah, the fact that the stat itself has been changed, not the multiplier to the stat.
So things like Guard and Power Split.
What's the other one?
Guard Split, Power Split,
Power Swap, Guard Swap, Speed Swap. I think that's it.
I think that's it. I think it's only 5 because there's only 5.
Yeah. So like, if you intimidate a Buzzwole, it's still going to get an attack boost.
Yeah. But
if you Power Split it, it's probably going to get a defense boost. I don't know.
It depends on what the numbers are and where their investments at. If they're max HP, max attack, you're probably still going to get an attack boost.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how bad your Shuckle is.
Yeah. Breed for all them 0 IV Shuckles, everyone. All 0 IVs except for HP.
Interesting. Xurkitree gets Discharge.
Oh.
So we can pair it like next to Gyarados. Get the Intimidate off.
Oh,
Discharge ourselves. Go to +1.
Make ourselves as frail as possible.
No, Carl, it's okay. We intimidated them.
No. Make Gyarados so we make sure we go down.
Yes.
Make ourselves like max speed, choice scarf, max attack.
So you get your attack off first.
So you get to
what something. You do? No. This is genius. Are you ready for this? We're choice scarf Gyarados, right?
Uh-huh.
Or choice band. No, we probably need to be scarf.
We want to be scarf, so we want to be fast.
And we're air balloon Xurkitree. So we earthquake them to lower their attack. To lower their HP. And then we discharge to go to +3.
Well,
I know what I'm working on this week.
That's a play and a half. Gosh.
I am ready for someone to message me on Monday when this comes out and says, Carter, you're an idiot. And I'm going to prove them wrong.
Oh. Getting away from Beast Boost, let's talk about Berserk. So, Berserk has had a showdown bug forever where if you eat your berry at half HP when you heal, like, you won't get your Berserk trigger.
Yep. So the way it's supposed to work is whenever you go below half, Berserk is supposed to trigger, and then you eat your berry.
Yep.
The way Showdown is coded, it says, okay, basically the way it's coded is...
The priorities are swapped.
Yeah. It says, okay, items are going to take effect, and then abilities, where in most instances that is correct, and in...
Berserk's case, it's incorrect.
Sometimes, mostly.
Yeah.
The only instance where this isn't true is in multi-hit moves. So, if you Icicle Spear a Moltres down below half, it eats its citrus berry, goes back above half, and then the attack ends, you don't get your Berserk trigger.
Yeah.
Because you can't have an ability trigger halfway through an attack.
Yeah.
Whereas you can have an item trigger halfway through an attack. Whereas if, in this instance, you take another hit and you fall back below half, you're only going to get one Berserk boost. Yeah. Even though you went below half twice, it doesn't matter. You get 1 boost.
Yeah.
And then the other really important thing is like if you take damage from Leech Seed or Poison or Sand or something
that's not direct.
Yeah, you have to be hit to take damage for Berserk to trigger.
Does Confusion trigger it? Hitting yourself in Confusion, does it trigger it?
I don't know.
I think a lot of what Berserk is, it's like avoid recoil. Like, recoil doesn't do it.
Belly Drum doesn't do it. Like, Self-Infliction mostly doesn't do it.
I'm interested in seeing if hitting yourself in Confusion can.
Just Google, like, Berserk plus Confusion.
Well, it'd tell you right here.
I didn't see it on there. Of course, Berserk...
It says status conditions.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that's like burn and poison.
Well, Confusion falls in these status conditions.
It does, but you're being hit because the way Confusion works is it's an actual attack that you deal to yourself. It uses your stats against it in the calculation.
Berserk plus confused hit. That doesn't give me anything.
Nope. I find Final Fantasy 9 statuses.
Oh boy. Meh.
That doesn't help.
That doesn't help.
Can we get Berserk Gene back?
No.
Please?
No.
The fact that they never let us have Berserk Gene plus Own Tempo upsets me. I want Own Tempo Berserk Gene Mudsdale.
No.
Would it even be that good?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I really want to, though.
Also because of the fact we have Grassy Terrain in the format.
Oh, yeah. This sounds great. I want to do this now.
Yeah, I'm assuming it just falls into the realm of status conditions.
That would make sense.
That's because that's what it's listed. It's listed as a status condition that deals damage to yourself. So it works like a burn or anything else. It's just there's a chance that you don't get damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. After that long one, these next ones are going to kind of fire off pretty rapid here. Compound Eyes is multiplicative, not additive. Meaning
when you're multiplying by a factor of 1.3, not adding 30%. I.e., 70% does not become 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Whereas 77% becomes 100.1% accurate.
Yeah.
So basically, if your accuracy is above that 77% mark, you will always hit. You will always have 100% accurate.
Mm-hmm. Odd side effect: it increases the odds of wild encounters holding items.
I knew that one because
there's a lot of abilities like that just like do random
field
things.
Yeah, out of battle moves. Flame Body, Steam Engine for hatching eggs.
Swarm increases bug type encounters. Harvest.
Static increases electric type. Intimidate reduces the amount of wild encounters you get.
There's another one too. Is it Stench?
Stench, yep.
There's a lot.
Magnet Pull.
Magnet Pull increases steel types.
Yep, I was trying to think of what the actual ability was called, and all I could think of was Magnet.
I had
that's not right.
When I was shiny hunting the Magnemite, I had my shiny Magnet Pull Magnemite in front just to pull everybody in.
What else is there? Is there one for water?
Probably.
Do I know it off the top of my head?
No.
Okay.
I believe there is one of almost every type.
Interesting.
Anywho, Curious Medicine hazes your team.
It's not the field; it's your team.
Yeah, we've been over this before. It's not everyone; it's yours, and I still see people like trying to do it with that, and it's like they wonder why it doesn't work.
Gyarados' speed.
Oh god.
81. That is so awkward. The circuitry is 83. I don't even think we need to be Choice Scarf.
We want to outspeed other Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, circuitry kind of sucks.
But the special attack card.
Trust me, man, I'm gonna make this work.
Anywho. Defiant and competitive. You didn't think there'd be a weird thing here, but there is. Defiant and competitive activates before White Herb. If White
This is
Herb,
really only important for Defiant.
Yeah.
Because you can't have White Herb trigger if at the end of when it would trigger, you are above your stat. So for the sake of Defiant, you get intimidated, your attack gets dropped by 1, you then get a +2 to attack, so now you're at +1. White Herb says, okay, well, you're at +1. Whereas with competitive, it says your attack is -1. Competitive then triggers, so you go to +2 special attack. White Herb then says, oh, you had a stat lowered.
Whee!
You go back to neutral on attack.
Yeah.
Pretty niche.
It works if you're not we're using Intimidate as the example, but other stat drops do apply here.
Yeah, like Electro Web. Electro Web is a very good example.
Yeah. Electro Web, Eerie Impulse for Defiant users. Scary Face.
Switch in on the Defiant boost. Get 'em.
Scary Face. Anything like that. Anything that drops a stat that's not just like a physical one, you will get your Defiant boost and then you get your speed back, or you get your special defense back, or you get anything back that you just lost. Works on accuracy checks too. Works on Muddy Water, so if like a random Muddy Water stat drop gets you a boost on your Thundurus, you get it back. Here's a fun one. Will-O-Wisp doesn't activate Steam Engine on fire types. Which specifically only means Carkol and Colossal. Roly-Poly can still get Will-O-Wisp and still activate Steam Engine.
We think.
It works that way. Because it's not a fire type.
Okay. But it doesn't trigger Steam Engine. That's the important thing.
It does. It will.
Wait, it will?
It will as long as you're not a fire type. Because
so it'll trigger on exactly...
Roly-Poly.
So there's your little cup tech of the week. Roly-Poly switching in on Will-O-Wisp.
Gets a Steam Engine boost, but you still get burn.
Yeah, but who cares?
Well, it depends on if you're physical Roly-Poly.
I need to go look up Roly-Poly real quick. Shocker, I don't know Roly-Poly's base stats.
But the reason this works is because Will-O-Wisp does not affect fire types, so it doesn't read it as hitting a Pokemon. It just says, no, it doesn't affect you, so it doesn't work.
Your attack and special attack are the same.
Yeah, I will say, it should be the same all the way up the line, for the most part. If they're not exactly equal, they're really, really close.
Carkles are the same.
And then Colossals are both 80.
Yep. Roly-Polies are 40.
That's
it's
not
40,
bad.
60, 80.
It's not bad. What's your speed for Roly-Poly?
30.
So you get to go 30.
Yeah, it's literally the same speed stat as Colossal.
So you can get to 360 with max speed Timid. Right?
That sounds right.
It's either 360 or 320.
I'm pretty sure it's 360.
Which is cool.
Yep, it's 360.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go. Roly-Poly Little Cup players. DPEC players, listen up.
I have some tech for you.
Use Roly-Poly as a Will-O-Wisp switching.
What are we doing, man?
Looking for unique and different ways to build teams. I've had more people suggesting things on deep dives. I had somebody tell me that they're building a Perish Trap team with Glastrier as their big beat stick and then having Perish Trap in the back.
Neat.
Which is really, really cool. And it's just that's also spurred this thing on. It's just like try to open up people's way of thinking of team building, because we're like technically 4 or 5 months into Series 7. We're kind of getting stale and stagnant. Everyone's kind of getting bored. So it's like everyone's starting to experiment. Evan's Tauros team was really, really cool.
Oh my lord, that team was hilarious.
The team of the week team that we just played is really cool. And the one we got coming up is even better. So that's kind of this cool stuff. Intimidate. Talking about Intimidate here for just a brief second.
So Intimidate, the best ability in the game. the best ability when it comes to competitive play. Lowers the attack of both opposing Pokemon by 1. Obviously, things like Clear Body and Hyper Cutter says you can't have that stat lowered. So as a result, it doesn't work. There's also a handful of abilities now in Gen 8 that do not get affected by Intimidate as well. There is Own Tempo. There is Oblivious, which we talked about earlier.
Inner Focus.
Yep, Inner Focus doesn't. And
Scrappy.
Yep. Notably, something they also added is Rattled will get triggered from Intimidate. So you will get a +1 speed boost if you get intimidated on your Dunsparce.
Or your Alolan version.
Yeah, but that one's not good.
They're both about the same, honestly. Alolan Persian wants to run Fur Coat, though.
Oh, for sure. What was it we were looking at earlier that caused the rollout glitch?
Oh!
Disguise!
Disguise and Ice Face. Which they've patched it out by now. But
this is something in the game until version 1.3.1, which was the last update. Not the most current update, because we just updated this week.
Yeah, it was just some bug fixes.
So basically, up until the Crown Tundra, you could do this. And, I mean, you could technically in the Crown Tundra for, like, a couple months or whatever. But the way it worked is if Rollout hits a Pokemon with Disguise, it increments the turn counter for Rollout, but it doesn't increment the damage multiplier. So, if you use Rollout and hit Mimikyu on turn 1, your turn counter will then get moved to 2, but your base damage will still be 20? Like it is
whatever
for Rollout?
whatever the base multiplier is, yeah.
So, then on turn 5, you have to hit all 5.
Yeah, that's the
important thing. So, not a very accurate move when it comes to Rollout, but you have to hit all 5. It will then see this as turn 5, and then stop the multiplication, is how it should work. But it doesn't, because it then will increment the damage multiplier for the next turn.
Yep.
So whatever attack you use now has a times 8 multiplier, or times 16, whatever it is.
Yeah.
To that attack.
Blow somebody up. Just blow them up. This also works with Ice Ball.
Yep. And incidentally also works on Ice Face, like you said. So what makes me laugh is you could do this against Ice Cube and Hail, and it will just recover every turn.
Oh, God.
But that means your multiplier never gets incremented. So you always stay at times 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that how that would work?
Yeah. Or whatever the multiplier would be for that, yeah. Because the multiplier never would go up, but your turn counter does.
So how does this... I need answers on this. I need to know what happens if you use Rollout as the next attack? Does it continue to multiply?
I don't know.
Or does it reset?
I don't know.
I need answers.
Well, we can't test it anymore.
Someone get me a Switch that has never been updated so I can try this on version 1.0 of Sword and Shield. I have questions and I need answers.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So, I have made it to my Utility Umbrella.
I have literally no idea what this does. This is all you.
So, Utility Umbrella, we believe... the way it's worded in-game, it says the Pokemon holding Utility Umbrella is unaffected by rain and harsh sun. So, right off the bat, Hail and Sandstorm still hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Umbrella can't stop that stuff. The idea of Utility Umbrella was to, I believe, make it to where you don't get affected by anything coming at you, weather boosted wise. So, like, if your opponent is water type in rain, you would take normal water damage. So it's just like, and that's kind of what it does, in a sense. Reading this straight off the Bulbapedia here, the holder's abilities and self-targeting moves behave as if there was no rain or sunlight present. So Chlorophyll doesn't activate, Swift doesn't activate, leaf guard, solar power, that
Sure.
stuff. Water and fire type moves targeted at the holder will not have their power increased or decreased in rain or sun.
Okay.
Thunder has normal accuracy. It pretty much just turns off all the rain and sun boosts
Against that mon.
It gets weird though, because it's just like, why is this a thing? What does this do? It's like it doesn't do anything for anybody. You can just change the weather on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a weird Pokemon. It's just a weird Pokemon item that like they wanted to kind of put in, which didn't make any sense at the time.
So if you trick a utility umbrella onto a Venusaur, it no longer gets a speed boost.
Correct.
Neat.
Solar beams things are normal by the user. Weather balls are normal type moves, things like that.
Overcast form Cheerum holding a utility umbrella won't change forms. If a sunshine form is then given a utility umbrella, it changes back.
Yeah. And then, just like the other way, if it loses it, it becomes sunshine form in sun.
I need cast form to get programmed into this game so we can see what happens with cast form.
You can turn into hail, but you won't turn into water or sun or rain.
I mean, that makes sense.
That's what it does.
Interesting. Not good, but interesting.
I just found that this utility umbrella just weird. It's just a weird item in the game, and it was the weirdest item included.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it needed to be talked about because all the other items are fairly straightforward. It's just this one doesn't tell you what it does. It says protects the holder from effects of weather.
But what does that mean?
What does that mean? It's just like you go out there, it's like, oh, I'm not going to have to worry about sand. No, you have to.
No, you take sand. Because, see, that's the thing. Sand comes at you sideways.
Well, I can hold an umbrella sideways.
No. See, then it comes through the other way, Carl.
No, I can just hold the umbrella sideways and it goes around the umbrella.
No.
Yep.
Not according to Pokemon.
Yeah, apparently
It goes straight through it. Just like hail. If you hold up an umbrella in hail, it's just going to pelt you through it.
Yeah. So, team of the week. Last thing we need to do here before we get all wrapped up for the afternoon, evening. Which one do you want to do?
I'm playing Swedes.
Playing Swedes?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the Electric Terrain Tapu Koko Unburdened Electric Seed thing that I really, really liked last week.
So we have Sash Kartana.
Yep.
Love it. Like, actually, I am a big fan of Sash Kartana. People anticipate the Assault Vest and go, yeah, I can still kill that. And they're like,
Can you
though? I'm going to get you.
Because I would prove you wrong. We also have a Shukaberry Koko with Special Koko.
Yep. With the important thing here is it has access to Taunt.
Yeah.
Love Fast Taunt in this format. I think Fast Taunt has been very good for quite a while, and I think people are kind of finally catching on in this format particularly that, hey, this is good.
Yeah. So,
like, I've seen it on a bunch of Talonflames here lately. I've seen it on Spectrier, which, I mean, those aren't overly uncommon, but I've seen it on faster Rillabooms, which I don't really understand because Rillaboom is not that fast naturally. But, like, I guess it works against, like, the Trick Room setting mon, so, like, on your hyper aggro teams where you need an answer to Trick Room. And, I mean, I've done it. I've played Taunt Rillaboom, and it was fine. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it was fine.
Yeah. Supplementing this Tapu Koko, we have Unburdened Electric Seed Drifblim. Fun fact with this is that you can have Tapu Koko out, Volt Switch out into this Drifblim. This Drifblim gets a defense boost, and then Unburden triggers, so it gets a speed boost, and it's a lot of fun. You could also just delete both of them and be fine. But I like the idea of just like, oh, you're going to attack me with a ground type move. I'm going to preserve my Shukaberry and get the heck out of dodge.
Yep. Like, hey, I'm faster than your Metagross. Howdy.
But
I also can just, will-o-wisp you. But the big thing there is I'm making you waste a turn of your Dynamax while doing this, and now you're also crippled.
Yeah, it's like, and now you're burnt.
Yeah, so not only did you accomplish literally nothing on turn 1, on turn 2 and 3, you're not going to accomplish nearly what you could have.
Other weird things I thought about for Clear Body. Clear Body turns off the switch from Parting Shot.
Yep.
And it turns off the Strength Sap.
Yep.
Which that's what made me think of it was like Strength Sap 100 from it just turns turned off. We have another flying type in the form of Salamence. Salamence is a Pokemon I really, really like, and it's like a unique intimidator with the fact that it's just like you don't see it anymore.
I'm very interested in this set.
This is a Dragon Dance Life Orb set. So the idea here is just like get a Dragon Dance off and blow people up.
So this last week I got to play with Swords Dance Garchomp, and it was great. But now we get Dragon Dance Salamence. I'm super excited. Notably, we're mono stab on this thing, which is probably fine. Like, Wormwind can and probably will be very powerful, and Airstream is obviously busted, so I'm excited to see how this actually plays out. And then, to round this whole thing out, we have what's probably pretty common at this point.
The meat and potatoes of this team, probably.
We have Weakness Policy, Colossal. Nothing overly surprising here. Meteor Beam, Heat Wave, Earth Power, Protect. Nothing too spicy. We don't have grass coverage, but that's okay because we have grass coverage on our Assault Vest Primarina.
Yeah, we also have Kartana, so it's like grass coverage.
Yeah, so we don't really need overgrowth, but, we also don't want to turn off our electric terrain. So, it's give and take.
Yeah. This Primarina is really sweet. We have Hyper Voice, Moonblast, Energy Ball, and Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet's there to trigger our Colossal's ability. Hyper Voice ends up being a stab spread move because we have Liquid Voice. So this team is super sweet, super excited to play with it. For watch you play with it. I get to watch all of these ahead of time.
Well, you say that, but
I didn't watch last.
You're also not editing them now because you're busy working on the website. So it's just
I still watch them so I can come up with titles, though.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, this last one I'm just like, here's everything that happened. Here's what we're doing.
Yeah, you gave me a good rundown because I was busy recording deep dives.
And to be fair, if you didn't check out Thursday's episode,
it's a good one.
Phenomenal.
It is a good one. Okay.
So,
is there anything else we want to talk about before we head out? I know we were talking about the Let's Play and whatnot, not doing too hot the last couple times, which part of that is probably it's Mother's Day, it was a holiday thing.
Honestly, looking on Twitter and on YouTube in general, Snap on YouTube is not done well.
Yeah.
It's not just us, it is Snap across the board. Which is funny because when you look on Twitter, it's everywhere.
Oh yeah, because it's a photo game.
Yeah. People are playing the crap out of this game.
It's
same. I love this game. It's fantastic. It's beautiful.
Agreed.
But from a content perspective,
it's not a good content game.
Which that was kind of the problem with Snap in general. The first one too is just okay, it's pretty set in stone what you're doing in this game.
Yeah.
And the whole puzzle aspect of this game is very intriguing. And trying to figure things out that way, obviously there are going to be things where in today's age where it's just how to find Pokemon in Snap.
How to do X, how to do Y, yeah. Joe, I think, was up all night day of release, and he had almost everything compiled already.
And what he didn't, I know Austin John's just all right, here's
the rest.
Literally every Pokemon in the Pokédex, here's how you get all of them.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, he kind of just ruins all the intrigue and mystic in the game, and it's just whatever. That's why I've been spoiler free for everything. I have not looked at anything else. When Kayla started playing, she had gotten to level 3 on the nature park. I can't watch this anymore. Sorry.
I haven't got that far. Bye.
I'm not sure if we'll keep playing the play for the Let's Play just because it's just doesn't feel worth my time.
It hasn't done well, but at the same time, I want something in that slot. And you've already recorded so much of it.
I have about a month and a half's worth of episodes still.
So, I guess then it becomes, what do we want in that Sunday slot instead?
Leave a comment down below what you want to see us do.
I mean, I'm not opposed to going back to doing some Let's Play or whatever. Historically, our Let's Plays haven't been great. I mean, Stadium was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed playing through it.
Let me tell you, the Stadium Let's Play wasn't that great, like, for content because they were so long.
And at the same time, we were still fairly new on YouTube at the same time, so, like, that never got truly promoted like I wanted it to.
Yeah, which YouTube's doing great now.
Our YouTube is... I'm not going to say it's blown up, but comparatively
compared to what we've
were,
been doing, yeah,
it is done very well.
It's doing real well. So comment down below what you want to see us do. Do you want to see us do deep dives? I can always add a third deep dive on Sundays. We could do a new thing if you have an idea for that. We could make Carter play a 4th day of laddering.
I mean, if we want a Let's Play or whatever, I could always start a Nuzlocke and actually finish one.
Or we could make you play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Never done that.
It's a very good Let's Play game. I can tell you that. Having never played one, it's very good Let's Play style of game because
you have the one for the Switch, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't.
I enjoy the heck out of it.
I have the one of them for the 3DS, and I bought it because it was on sale at Walmart. One of the Walmarts this is like 3 years ago. I went to was like selling out all their 3DS games, just like to clear inventory. I'm just like, hey, here's a copy of Ultra Moon. Here's a copy of Ocarina of Time. Here's Mystery Dungeon.
Here's
like,
X and Y. Like, here's all this stuff.
So I got my copy of Ultra Moon for $10. I have a second copy of Ocarina of Time sealed. It's like, that's going to be worth $1 billion come, 10 years from now.
When the DS is officially cycled out and dead.
Yeah. Like, that's good. That is one of the most popular games on the system. And I mean, look at the 64
That's
copies.
why I bought my 3DS, is Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I own it and I've never beat it. I own 2 copies of it and I've never beat it.
Goodness. Yeah, so we'll hear back from the community, see what everybody wants to do. I'll keep uploading Snap until I either feel it's not necessary or the episodes just run out. I've got episodes all the way up through Sand, level 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I've unlocked the next part of the Sand Island. I haven't recorded anything on it yet, though.
Gotcha.
So that's where we're at there. But yeah. So we'll have maybe an update next week on what we plan on doing for Sunday slot. Could just have an off day, just have a day off, but
nah,
I don't like that.
Nah, I want to push for a video a day for the next forever.
I like having a video a day. Like, if I was by myself, it's a little much, but like having 2 people here to create content makes it a lot easier.
For sure. So yeah, I'm interested in hearing what people want. Comment down below. I kind of sort of started a Let's Play of Emerald Kaizo because like that's the super hot Pokemon game on Twitch right now, and like I'm not opposed to trying to play through that game again, but the last time I did, it made me pull my hair out.
Ironmon win, Carter. Ironmon win.
Dude, I am too addicted to key itemizers now.
That was I stayed up way too late watching you play that.
I started one this morning, and let me tell you, I got the magnet train pass early. Like, I don't have the squirt bottle, so like I'm locked into the 3 towns. Clear out everything. I have 6 badges.
Jeez.
Clear out every check that I have, and I do like 2/3 of them at first. I'm like, all right, well, everything else that's here is super inconvenient for me to check at this point because there's a lot of backtracking. I don't have fly. I don't have the squirt bottle. So, like, to go back to Violet means I had to go all the way around.
Back through a forest.
So it makes sense for me to go to Kanto and do all of that and then come back. So I start Kanto, and I'm like, my held item on my starter was Lucky Egg. So I'm just like, we're golden, right? So I get started. I'm like, these gyms are going to be really bad because I'm under-leveled. Of course. Like, I'm level, 40 against, Sabrina's 55s or whatever they are. I'm like, I'm not going to win that majority of the time. So I go down and I fight Janine because she's the lowest level one. I'm like, all right, I have a bunch of X items. We'll be fine. I lead on Pidgeot. She leads on Tyranitar. I'm like, not great. So I'm like, all right, X attack, and we'll set up on this. X attack, crit hyper beam one shot you. Like, sure, no big deal. So I switch into whatever, revive, come back in, and X item, crit hyper beam again. It's like, are you kidding me?
Get him.
Do it a third time. I bring back in Pidgeot. Spark you. So like, no, you're going down. I need you dead now. Brings out Cloyster. I'm like, all right, I can set up on this one. Spark you. I'm like, why does everything have spark?
Because you had a Pidgeot.
So we finally clear out Janine. I'm going to go up to Cerulean to do that. And I'm like, man, this sucks without Fly. I'm going back to Johto to finish all those checks to see if I can find Fly. So I go and clear all that out. Nothing.
Goodness.
So then, now I'm up in Violet again. So I have to backtrack all the way back to Goldenrod.
To get on the train.
To go back to Kanto. So I go and do that, and I go through Rock Tunnel. I don't have cut. So I can't go from Cerulean to the power plant. I have to go around through Rock Tunnel without Flash.
Yeah.
So I do that to talk to the guy to trigger the sequence with Misty. To then go back through Rock Tunnel in the dark. To go up to Misty. To do basically nothing. Get no good information.
That's hilarious.
I beat Sabrina, get no good information. I finally go and fight Surge, and I get a badge. So now I have 7 badges to trigger this radio sequence. I don't have the squirt bottle. I don't have Fly. I'm 2.5 hours in on this scene. I'm just like, this is awful.
Sounds like it. One of them weird seeds where you have to do all this random stuff.
I did a bunch of everything. Finally found Rock Smash. And I'm just like, all right, I'm leaving Kanto again to go check this. Nothing.
Oh,
so I go through all of Dark Cave without Flash, just to end up having to go back to Kanto the long way again. I spent probably a good 25 minutes just backtracking today.
Did you finish it?
No.
Oh.
I got 2.5 hours in. I'm like, all right, I need to go
do stuff.
Yeah, because originally I was going to do, there's a seed that lets you do just Johto. And I go to randomize it, and it gives me an error. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I guess I'll just do the one that I've been doing. Stupid. Actually
again.
Stupid.
Never again. Okay. Well, that was a good 10-minute ramble.
About literally nothing. Yep. That's usually how this works.
Yep.
So
let's get out of here.
All right, everyone. Make sure you go and follow us on Twitter at LR Lessons, myself at Mr. Missouri25, and Carl is at Musical VGC.
Yeah.
No underscore, right?
No underscore.
Okay.
I got to actually change it because it became available. It wasn't available before. So.
Neat. I did not know that.
Yeah. So I got to change it, which is cool.
Are you rebranding on Twitch too?
No, probably not.
Okay. So
I'm never on Twitch anyway, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's whatever.
If it comes up, it comes up. But
Yep. So I'm on Twitch at Mr. Missouri25. Carl's at Musical. Come and drop a like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff on there. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want on that Sunday slot. We're basically open for whatever at this point. Legitimately, whatever you all want. We're pretty game for it. So, let's see. Then there is the Twitter. There's our Twitches. There's the YouTubes. There's the Discord. Come and join that. That's where we have all kinds of stuff going on with it right now.
Rumble on Wednesday starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Yep.
Free entry rental teams are allowed. Have at it. Last reminder there. We'll remind people in the Discord, obviously, and on Twitter, but
yeah, there'll be a shiny prize for that.
I never got a hold of whoever won the last one. Who was it?
Karibo.
Karibo. He never got a hold of me for this shiny Charmander.
So, Karibo, this is your warning. If you want it, come get it. If not, we're raffling it off again.
I'll run it out again.
Someone's getting this Charmander, dang it.
So I worked real hard breeding these luxury ball shiny Charmanders. I still have the Hoenn set for EB95.
Dude, I haven't heard that name in a hot minute.
I contacted them way back when, and we just never got synced up time-wise. I'm going to hold them for as long as they want them, so I'm just going to keep holding them.
Well, EB, if you're here, man, let us know.
Yeah, if you're listening, come find me.
So, yeah, Discord's great. We have all kinds of stuff on there. Players Cup 3...
4.
Yeah, 4 qualifiers are this weekend.
Sometime in June.
I thought they were this weekend.
They're in June. Because no one even knows if they qualified yet.
Oh.
You can assume.
Gotcha. Oh, so Penguin was talking about stuff for this weekend. I thought, the way I misread it
They're getting their planning done, started up.
Gotcha.
Because it's going to probably, it takes a good while to actually get a team set up to where you actually want to play something.
Well, it's Penguin. He's been stuck on one very good thing, and now he's just like, I'm getting bored of this.
Yeah, that happens.
So he messaged me today. He's like, why is team building so hard? Like, because if it was easy, everyone could do it, man.
I will say, if it was easy, everyone would do it. I think that's everything.
So, yeah. I got a whole lot of nothing.
Same.
So, all right, everyone. We will be back tomorrow with a deep dive.
Nope. Laddering.
Yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday is laddering. Wednesday is deep dive.
There you go.
So you can see my ugly mug tomorrow. Carl's on Wednesday, and we'll go from there. So have a good one, everyone. Peace.